everybody, it's Will. Welcome to another Vinyl Appreciation Society supplemental video. This one is in response to questions that we get. A lot of them are, you won't see a ton of comments on the YouTube, obviously. We don't have a shitload of subscribers right now, but we get a lot of comments emailed to us, texted to us from people that we know who check out the show. Friends of ours, relatives of ours, other people who collect vinyl that we've connected with via the show, people on Instagram. We get private messages on Instagram. Go check us out on Instagram. We'll include a link in the description to this video. We have a lot more followers on Instagram than we do on here. We post a lot of different stuff on there. It's a very different experience. We post videos, photos of all the records that we talk about. So go check that out. It's just Vinyl Appreciation Society on Instagram, all one word, all lowercase. So the question that we get the most often is, why are your vinyl videos so short? You know, we just do like the wielding pens here, like I've got nunchucks. You know, we just do like the 2 to 3 minute videos, talk about the record, show the record. It's pretty quick, and it's not kind of traditional YouTube content. We get asked a lot, like, why don't you give more opinions? Why don't you do like lists of things? Why don't you do longer videos? And there's really just kind of like a 3.5 part answer to this. The first part of that is that I don't really consider myself an expert on music, and I don't want to go on and on and on shoving my opinion down people's throats when I don't think it's a meaningful opinion and it's not going to add any value to your life. And like, sure, we did a supplemental video for Mogwai because they're one of my favorite bands and I own a ton of their records and I've seen them a bunch of times, and like, I feel like I can talk about my subjective opinions about Mogwai, and if people care, then we'll do that. Like, that video was done specifically for one follower who sent us an email and was like, hey, I'd like to know more about Mogwai. Sure, we can give you that. But you know, I went to grad school for film school, and I considered myself like an expert on film before I went to grad school. And in going to grad school, I realized I was very much not an expert on film, and still wouldn't even consider myself an expert on film after 3 years of grad school and after having, you know, worked in the film industry, interned in the film industry. I've read thousands of scripts for studios that I read for, and you know, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. And so in light of that, I just feel like the last thing the world really needs is more empty, hollow, meaningless opinions that are spouted for the sake of the ego of the person spouting them, and so we just try to stay away from that, you know? And the show, this is another point that I'd like to make in our 3.5 point plan here. Vinyl Appreciation Society was like quite literally an afterthought. Terrible Infant is a very big endeavor. You've seen that it's a Terrible Infant YouTube channel. You've seen the logo at the end of the videos. We haven't quite explained to you what Terrible Infant is, but we have a bunch of members. It's not just me. It's not just Mike. And we have a lot of stuff going simultaneously. We're working on a ton of projects right now. And we spent, right now we're in February of 2018. Maybe this video will go up in early March. And we spent the fall of 2017 building this huge plan for how we were going to launch Terrible Infant. And at the very end of that, after we conceptualized and like made schedules for and talked about potential budgets for and doing all logistics for all of these different things that we want to make, I said to Mike, kind of like offhandedly, you know, I have a bunch of records, and we could do like a record show that's basically like a YouTube version of an Instagram where we show the record. I talk about when it came out, what edition it is, like what variant it is, what the band sounds like very briefly, and that's it. And Mike was like, you know, it'd be really easy to film, it'd be really easy to edit, we could throw up a ton of them, it would be fun because you like records, you like to talk about records, and that's how Vinyl Appreciation Society came to be. Like, it only exists because I own a bunch of records, and I love collecting records, and I love music, and it's relatively easy for us to do. We thought it would be fun, and it's been really fun. And we thank you for following it, and we're glad that you like it, but the show was never designed to be a record review show, or to be an opinion show, or like, you know, a show where we go on and on about what are the best albums of whatever year. And honestly, the older I get, the more absurd end of the year lists become to me, because how can you listen to every record that comes out in a year? And if you don't pay attention to every record that came out that year and give it its due, not just listen to it once, but like actually listen to it enough to get it, how can you say what are the best records of that year? It just seems absurd to me. And this ties into a point that I want to make. It's a little bit long-winded, and I apologize, but it has to do with the nature of kind of the bullshit echo chamber that is the internet. And I'm not trying to knock like other people on YouTube who talk about music, who are just airing their opinions. That's fine. If you want to do that, you should do that. And I think that that's one of the cool things about YouTube, is that you have a space where you can just talk about things that you like, and if people will agree with you or don't agree with you, whatever, they can listen to you, they can comment, whatever. I'm talking more specifically about digital capitalism and the insidious nature of digital capitalism and the way that there are all of these publications in the world that are in this kind of position where I think we as a society believe that because they have a brand and they have a website and they have a Facebook page and they are presenting and publishing material, that the opinions that they have and the information that they have is accurate and expert. And in most cases, that is not true. And I was a freelance writer for about 4 to 5 years for websites, and I was a content editor, Facebook page manager for a really big internet content provider website. For like 18 months. And having been on that side of it, I can tell you definitively that these are not expert opinions, that the people who run these sites are capitalists. They're trying to make money and not spend it. So they hire the cheapest people they can hire. Those people are not experts, but the people who are reading this stuff think it must be an expert opinion. It's coming from a trusted publisher. And I kind of feel like the internet is killing the notion of expertise. And I think that notion is very important. I think that experts in different fields are the vanguards of culture and meaning in each of those fields, and I think that we should respect that, and that should be an institution that has some kind of value. And so as someone who does not believe that he is an expert in music, is just a fan and a record collector, I don't want to go on and on and on with these opinions and just contribute to this like meaningless, endless white noise of opinion on the internet. And the one other thing that I wanted to mention here is that I'm, like I said, this show is an afterthought. I'm not trying to launch myself as kind of a music journalist or a critic. I tried that. I wrote reviews for websites. I wrote reviews for magazines. I wrote concert reviews. I interviewed bands. And I did that for about 2 years, and I just decided that's not what I wanted to do with my life. And I think there are a lot of people on YouTube who do these more opinionated pieces and these more long-winded pieces and again, I'm not trying to knock these people. This is what you want to do in your life, that's fine. Like, do what you want to do. But I think that they have an invested interest in positioning themselves as music critics and as commentators on this culture, and so they want to put their opinions out there. That's just not what I want to do. I'm not interested in doing that with my life, and that's not who I want to be. I just want to be a fan who has records, who loves records, and who shares those records with people. So that is the whole point of Vinyl Appreciation Society, and that is why we've been kind of eschewing what you might traditionally see on a music show. If you have any questions about this, obviously let us know. You can put them in the comments. You can reach us a direct message on Instagram. You can send us an email, terribleinfantfilm@gmail.com. We love all the feedback. We love all the support that we've been getting and all the comments. And thank you so much, and hopefully this has been useful.